Danny Garcia is supposedly making his ring return in October, right? It's a Top Rank is putting together a card. From what I'm reading, they're trying to keep the fighters busy while they come up with a new business model for themselves, so to speak. But Danny Garcia's last fight was at 154 pounds. I forgot to mention something in the previous video regarding this. His last fight was at 154 against Arislandi Lara. That is the only fight that Danny Garcia ever got knocked out in and got dropped. So that's important to mention. But something that I thought about was, okay, well, he is not going to perform good at 154. I just don't think he is. His power ain't there. He don't have the pop. He's not hurting those dudes. He didn't hurt Lara. He's not going to hurt the dudes at that division. He don't. His power is not carrying up as he gets in higher weight classes. And I've spoke about this with a lot of fighters. Everybody's different. Some fighters, they move up. They carry their weight. They carry their power. Their power will carry with them. Some fighters will lose their power as they go up. Some fighters that are not known to punch, they go up in weight and then they become punchers. You know what I mean? So everybody's different. And in Danny Garcia's case, I don't think he has the punching power to really compete or really hurt any of those dudes. And he don't have the footwork to do it either. He tried to even box his first fight at 154, which was against Jose Benavidez. He tried to incorporate boxing. He can box. I don't think when it comes to the higher caliber fighters at that division, his outboxing is not gonna really cut it, man. It's just not. He never was. I never understood that why they call him Swift, because he never was a quick dude to me, you know. But what I wanted to mention is that I forgot to mention in the other video was, what if he's not fighting at 154? What if he's going back down to welterweight? You know what I'm saying? I didn't think about that either. Is it possible that Danny Garcia could be dropping back down to 147 to compete down there? I don't know. That's a lot, man, because he's getting older. He's already 2 fights in at 154 to go back down. That's a lot, man. But I mean, there's nothing down there for him. So I'm figuring, man, maybe that's where he's going to campaign at welterweight. Because 154, I think, is going to be way too dangerous for Danny Garcia. So when you look at the welterweight division, Errol Spencer's gone. He already fought Errol. Bud is not there no more. Jaron Ennis ain't there no more. Stanionis is still there. He just got knocked out. Trying to figure out who else is at welterweight. You got Brian Norman Jr. He's there. You got Mario Barrios. That's a good fight for Danny Garcia at welterweight. I think he beats Barrios, man. That's a winnable fight for Danny Garcia. Brian Norman Jr., I mean, like I said, Danny Garcia always had a pretty good chin. So at welterweight, on the weight cut, might, if he used to go back to welterweight, I don't know if that would bother his, that would mess with his durability or nothing like that. But that's a solid fight for Danny. Brian Norman Jr. Maybe a Devin Haney fight, something like that. But his chances are better down at welterweight. I don't think 154. No, I don't know. I think he should probably stay away from that division, man. But welterweight, I didn't think about that. Wait, what if they got him going back down in weight? That could hurt him or be good for him. Maybe he gets down there and then the weight cut is too much and he's drained and he ended up getting really knocked out bad down there or something like that. Or the weight cut don't mess with him and he does really good at welterweight for his age. Maybe that's the only way he comes back, is going back to welterweight, where he actually can compete. Because outside of Brian Norman Jr., there is nobody else there. I don't even count Barrios. I mean, you got the potential maybe a Pacquiao fight down there. You know what I'm saying? Maybe. Maybe that's what he's looking at. I don't know. Maybe that could be a thing too. The Pacquiao, Danny Garcia. Maybe he smelt that. You know, I don't know if Pacquiao's gonna hang around the division. We'll see. But there's nobody else outside of maybe Manny Pacquiao and Brian Norman Jr. There's nobody else really there. Devin Haney. So there's nothing else for him, man. So something to consider and think about. But anyway, let me know what you think, man. This is your boy, Rebel Life Boxer. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Like, subscribe, all that heavy shit. Catch y'all later.